Woo. Hey, can I see this camera? Well, this is the last 5 miles, so mile 21. You know, still looking fresh, still part of it. So I'm almost done, really. So today, I'm just gonna do a roughly. Yeah, it's gonna take me like about six hours. 5 hours and something in it, and that is because of the stopping, the yoga. So I add an extra hour to it, and that makes it more easy, to do the 26. So I literally add an extra hour to this thing by doing the yoga, the meditation, like just the yoga. I stopped. So each time I stop, like I stop at mile 13 and mile 20 right now. So that's, both of those stops are like 20 minutes each. I stretch for like 15 minutes at least. So that's half an hour. So, and it add more to it. And I'm saying this because normally I would literally be done with this thing in 4 hours. Sometimes 3.5. And what that does, it doesn't leave room for me to be able to do it again the following day because I beat myself up so bad. And I'm just saying this, especially to a lot of people that want to run a marathon. So when you are doing your long runs like this, this is the time to do it like real easy. It should be like a mini vacation where you just go outside and put your feet on the ground for that 26 miles. So like tomorrow, I'll probably do another 26 or 28, between 26 and 30 tomorrow. And that's because I have relaxed my whole body. And the race, like especially like on the marathon day, trust me, the energy of the crowd will make you move. But when you just practice it like this, or you go out on a regular run, a lot of people, the speed that you run at, you're not in shape for it yet. Believe it or not. It takes years. And I mean, running that 26 miles at least, and I mean at least 20 times for your body to start getting used to it. So even though you run it every day, you might think you are in some form of shape. It's just the survival mode that you're in. And that's why that aches and pain comes in. And if you're not stretching, that's even more funny. And a lot of time, the aches and pain that runners, as a matter of fact, I'm going to start talking like this on the weekend. As a matter of fact, the many pains that the runner go through during their runs, it's not your body, it's from the stress that you already have inside of you that you don't stretch out. So when we're doing this, especially for people that love the 26 miles, you gotta cut up the ego. You have to cut up the ego. You have to treat people the way you like to be treated. And that means you don't want people to be jealous of you. Don't be jealous of them. You want people to respect you as a runner. Respect other runners. But if you cannot do that, you can forget it. You're always going to lie and be in pain at all times. And a marathon is just always going to be difficult for you. That's just the key to it. It's always going to be difficult for you. You can listen to all the podcasts in the world about how to get better at running. But if you do not do the psychological work, which is within you, it's absolutely impossible. Like for example, when you pinch yourself, you can feel the pain. So you will not want nobody to pinch you. So truly, the whole thing in running is self-realization. This is what happens to a lot of people after they run. Because they show off and they lie so much, boom, they slip into this thing called depression. Boom, then you hear them, they don't run anymore. It happens over and over and over and over. And that's because we are being misinformed about running. There's a psychology differences to it. Like, for example, a lot of people will run a marathon and you never hear them run it again because during their training, they never run that 26 miles. So what that does, their stress is even more. See, our words are so powerful because everything, we have this thing called the invisible imagination. And those are the things, it's just like, for example, you see a girl and you say, oh, I'm going to talk to that girl. You already manifested it, even though it is not there, like those little things. So the pain that you see through running is because of not being honest with yourself. You know, like, for example, the first couple of years when you start running, your ego is on a high. And especially if you've never done any sport before and you just come into running and they made you run the marathon. Like half of the marathon training that people do when they run long distance, half of it will not help you in the long run. They will help you to fake it for a little bit. But as far as running for a long time, those marathons are not going to help you. It is not what you eat either. You know, because, and I'm saying this if you are interested in understanding, because I love the passion that different communities are putting into running. And especially lately with the African American community. But the truth is, you're not doing it psychologically right. That thing takes more effort than you realize. And one of the very simple efforts into running long distance, especially 26 miles, first you have to just look at it as a number in your head. Once your mind can wrap around it, oh, it's just 26 miles, it will not be a big deal. You know, because every time you feel that shock in your body from running that 26 miles, after the race, this is what you want to do. Either you want to have sex, you want to overeat, or you just feel like, what the heck? Because psychologically, you did not prepare for it. And nobody knows. I've seen a post before where somebody asks, well, how do you do with post-depression after a marathon? Well, as soon as you finish running your 26 miles, you don't need no break. You go outside the following weekend, you run another 13. So you build back up. That way your body is in rhyme and you'll be able to think why you do this running. Why did I do this? Why am I doing this? You know, because there's a lot of things to it and I just see it. That's why a lot of, like, for example, based on what I'm talking about right here, that's why here in Atlanta, a lot of runners are just, they have this thing where I just see the ego and it's not intentional. So when people hear, oh, he runs that much, they feel tense. But the thing is, I went through all the classes, self classes. The only person that can truly help you with your long run is self. And especially, like all these coaches with certificate, impossible, because they don't know what the biscuit they're talking about. This thing has to come within self. That's why I always use an example of if a woman can give birth to a baby, 100 miles, 26 miles is nothing. Because first of all, the yin and the yang, when you begin to understand the whole thing about the feminine energy, you will not be so egoistic. Because I just see the ego, and what the ego causes, it causes injury. And it causes you not running. That's why you see a lot of marathon runners, they will run one marathon and that thing is so painful and they're afraid. They don't run another one for another 5 months. And they, oh, I'm just doing it 5K and preparing. I've met so many runners here, especially here in Atlanta. They never go past it. They talk it, but they never go past that 26 miles. Because, and I can see in their eye the passion that they have for it. But because of that ego that they haven't realized from within them, they just cannot do it again. You know, I have run with so many people, trained them for their marathons. And it really amazes me that as soon as they run just that one marathon, they start acting like they know everything about running. And it never failed me. They never stop. they never continue again. Look at that beautiful sight. And I'm just saying, it's like, I'm hitting that mile. What mile mark am I coming up to right now? Mile 22, so I'm gonna start reading my mouth. And I'm saying this. Let me remind you, this thing is easy. You know, most of the articles in runner's world, no offense, they just don't know what they're talking about, in my opinion. Most of it. Some of it will help you, but most of it just can't. Because we put so much emphasis on food. You'd be so surprised. You need little food, then you realize. Like today, what have I had today? I'm going to hit mile 22 very soon, as you can see. Because of the camera, so I get to slow down. I've had, on this mile 22, I've only had 2 bananas. Would you believe that? I might just, 2 bananas and a carrot. That's all I had today. And I'm at mile 22. And I might not eat again until I'm done. 2 bananas and a carrot is all I had today. You know, and I just want you to push your ego to the side. Don't look at it that, oh, and I'm just going to keep it real. Oh, I look like you. I must not know what I'm talking about. After 38,000 miles of running every weekend. I mean, by now I should be a citizen of Atlanta. Can you imagine I've run 38,000 miles in this city? But because of ego, people cannot understand it. So that's the reason why, in order to run this long distance, because I see the passion in everybody's eyes, the way they love running. I'm really, truly inspired by all the communities. But the one thing that we haven't learned about marathon running is the psychic. It's all up in the mind. If your mind is not right, if you are not treating people, if you do not respect other runners, if you are jealous of other runners, you can never run a marathon. You are just gonna keep faking it. Because after 5 years of running, for many, a marathon should be easy. If you've been running for 5 years and you cannot go out on the weekend, bust out a marathon twice a month, you're not doing it right. 5 years. I've known a lot of people for 5 years. And you are still, when I met you, you were struggling. Well, I met some people 6 years ago. When I met you, I trained with you, you were struggling to run a marathon. 6 years later, you're still struggling. That means something ain't right. And the one thing that ain't right is we need to come out of this shell of looks. You know, and black people here, and this is not a race thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the culture. They would rather listen to somebody that don't look like them than rather listen to me. Because in their head, they're thinking, because this is not a race for some of us. This is just something that we love to do. Oh, my sister's on the phone. Let me change the topic. I might as well even speak my language. So I'm just going to say it for a little bit. The sister's in England. Oh, my kilo shele, man. I know you can't hear me right now, but show okay. You know what I'm saying. Most of the ones see you, so báwo ni gbogbo ẹ. You know, we got that British/African connection. So, Miss Olude Showa. You know, I can see my sister in England right now, so she's actually talking to me. So I'm just gonna slow down a little bit. Kilo shele, man. Anyway, Mori won't wave. You know what? Yeah, mo sáré lọ́wọ́ sí ni, so ṣé mo dàbí bàbá ẹ ni? Mo dàbí bàbá ẹ àbí? You know, and this is the whole thing about Facebook. You know, I just saved $4,000 in ticket. I just spoke to my sister. So Emily, mi abẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ later ṣùgbọ́n sọ fún everybody pé uncle loves them. Tell them I say hello. You know, I still know how to talk like you people in England, you know, whenever I want to. But, you know, my accent is changing. So I'm going to talk to you later. I'm going to continue my running. And thanks for joining in. You know, and let's chat when you got a moment. Would ya? All right. Cheers, love. One love. Peace.